Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. Absolutely, man.
So my next question is essentially with this same avenue is, what do you think about the market versus Main Street versus Wall Street? What do you think about that? Do you think it's overinflated? What is going on for a person that doesn't really know about stocks? Because it made a recovery from where we started in March 23rd, I believe. Yes. So yeah.
Okay, so now is the game, or now is the time for the game of calm. Okay, things are all over the place. If you notice what happened with George Floyd, the riots in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
things are disastrous in the U.S. right now. Reason why I bring U.S. is U.S.
Yep.
controls everything, controls the market pretty much, right? Now with these tons of uncertainties, do real life data reflect what's really happening, or do Wall Street reflect what's really happening in real life? And does real life is real life reflected in Wall Street? Very tough question, but what we can say is the valuation of stocks right now is all over the place.
Mhm.
It's very tough right now. It's except for the FANG companies, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. Let's
Mhm.
put these on the sides because their business model is a little bit different. But let's look at the rest of things. Some things are, hyper increased, or some things are really down and it doesn't show their true value. So you can't really judge. What is the best approach to tackle the uncertainty? Is my opinion, keep calm, keep investing, but understand two things. Dollar cost averaging, that's a must. You must
Mhm.
utilize this in terms of uncertainty. I will tie it in again because it's a very important concept.
Mhm.
But you must understand something. In my opinion, this is going to last a while. After it finishes, the behavior of consumers are changed forever. After this finishes, after hopefully only a recession, no depression,
Mhm.
after this recession finishes, we're going to be in a stage of people will be scared, will be saving more. So everything will be different. So you must understand before you go in that you're staying in for the long game, for the long, long game. Um, I see a potential recovery within at least 12 to 18 months to start to get back on the same levels as we were before the pandemic, not to get more, just be back on the same level. Now, I would prepare, this is what I hope for and I see, but I'm preparing for 5 years. So, do
Hold
you see
long
the
term.
difference I made?
Yeah.
There's a difference between what I see and hope and what I'm preparing for, right? So these are two different things. So I would say in the times of uncertainty like this, prepare for a 5 year,
Mhm.
hope for 12 to 18 months or 2 years.
Well, no, 100%. You're pretty much hedging yourself, and you want the greatest return that you can possibly can. And if things work out in 12 to 16 months, and correct me if I'm wrong, you want it to be the greatest return you can possibly get. So you want to hold for the long run. So right now we're pretty much talking about active investing, and for the person that knows how to read financial statements and all the other stuff. What about the person that doesn't really know how to read financial statements? What do you think, like passive investing? What are your thoughts on passive investing and what they can do with that? Do you think mutual funds are good, and then with their fees and all that stuff? So what are your thoughts on that?
Let's do something cool here. Given that the person we talked about, person X doesn't he's not a finance expert and
Yeah.
don't have to be, by the way.
Yeah.
But this person also doesn't want to spend the time learning, and I understand doesn't want to spend crazy, like they want to learn the basic stuff, but they just wanted to get it over with.
That's
Okay.
exactly it. Yeah.
Now this person is I, my take is the best option that a lot of times actually outperform individual stock pick
Mm-hmm.
is index investing,
Beauty. Yeah.
right? So what is index investing? What is this guy talking about? Okay, index investing, Nasdaq. Nasdaq is the tech sector, and it's all tech stocks and whatever. You just literally, so the whole market is performing in a specific way. Literally the whole market combined, or let's pick something that is, it can be imagined. S&P 500, Standard and Poor 500 companies. Okay. The index mimics or follows directly all of these companies. They get an average, and the index mimics the whole market.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on average, the index will work like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so it goes up and down, but it goes up over the long period of time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there are options to do this. You can invest in mutual funds that mimics a specific index. Now, mutual funds can be great for many things, diversification, da 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 da. Keep in mind they have higher management fees called MER, management expenses ratio. It can range between 2 to 2.5%, even sometimes higher.
Mm-hmm.
So it costs a lot of money to invest in mutual funds, but it gives you that peace of mind knowing that there are professionals that are managing the fund. You can pick the right index for you, and boom, you let your hands go off, right? Or you can invest also in an ETF, an index ETF, or an
Mm-hmm.
ETF that mimics an index or whatever. We talked about, you asked me about the Vanguard and all of this. I'm not going to go into the details, but bigger picture, ETFs, very similar to mutual funds. The difference is they are day traded, so you can day trade them really quickly, and they have much, much, much lower management fee.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if you ask me for my honest opinion, I'm now routing for actually ETFs. But ETFs, you kind of have to completely do it on your own, so you get a self-directed account. This is going very detailed. Get a self-directed account, find the best ETF for you, and boom. Mutual funds, a lot of big financial institution offered, so you can go talk to an advisor, tell them exactly your situation, and they will tell you, listen, you have three options, one, two, three, pick. So whatever service you want, you will pay for.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it, right? So if you want to do a lot of any effort, mutual funds is your go. If you want to do some effort, it's ETFs. If you want to do a lot of effort, it's individual stock picking. It really depends on you, but yeah, definitely. You don't have to be an expert. You can literally get started right after you finish watching this. Just get on it because everyone should get on it.
100%, man. And someone said this, and then it really stuck with me is personal finance is just personal, so you have to do the work.
Yeah.
Like there's personal, it's there for a reason. So just keep at it, and you got to learn by yourself, and ask people for help, and then go out and do what you have to do. Because if you don't get over greedy, you will get a part of your you will get a part of it. It's not just like you're gonna take it all. You're gonna get a part of it, and it'll be good, and you just stick with that.
With this, you know what I say always? Surprisingly, I make some good money, but I I didn't want to make some good money. All I wanted, I said, well, I tell this to my friends. There's a big cake, right? And the big cake has some cherries on the top.
Yeah,
I don't even want a piece of the cake. I want a nice piece of that cherry on the top
a
because the
piece of
cake
the
is
cherry.
huge.
Yeah.
It fits everyone. The piece of the cherry, no one will notice. You
Hmm.
do it in the right way, no one will notice. And you wouldn't have, because if you go and cut the cake, everyone will say, "Oh, what are you doing? The party's not started yet," or whatever, right? So I say, no, no, no. I just need the small, and even if you take the whole cherry, some people will say, some people will, would not see you. This is the analogy I use. If you take just something small, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It can be a million,
Hmm.
but it's overall on aggregate, it's a small piece of the cake. You do it in the right way. You listen very well to people around you and see how you can be a part of this party in the first place to be able to take part of that cherry. That's what I say. Not be over greedy and cut the whole cake or
Yeah.
take cake and run because it's not gonna work. You're not. Very few people are Mark Zuckerberg, and
Yeah.
I hope all are, but we can all. It's our fault if we don't have the amazing life we want. It's our fault, I would say.
I totally agree, man. I totally agree. And there's this guy that I watch, man, and he keep preaching the same thing. He's like, you don't have to be the smartest person. You just have to listen to the smartest people around you, and then from there you will get whatever you want, and you'll learn from it. And if you pride yourself in learning, like I'm learning from you, and then anybody that's going out there just to learn and better themselves, that will get you much farther than just being in your own bubble, like we started in the beginning. and that will get you nowhere. And that's just my thesis,
Yeah.
and what I agree with. But we'll see in the long run what happens.
I will tell you more. I so agree with this. You know what I say. Thankfully, with my career, things have taken a turn for the good.
Yeah.
Thankfully, quick. But here's I think why. If I were to look at it, one of my friends, great friend, he has a great job in a big financial institution, and we talk, and I say if there's one skill I have is delegating the right people in the right place and making sure I understand and listen, having the right people in the right place. So this is literally, I think, my only skill set is connecting people with the right things or having the right people do the right thing. This is the only thing I see. That's why when I worked in corporate strategy, this was my only thing. I would say, what if we move this here? But the technicalities, you don't have to have none of it actually.
That
If you have some, it would be great to have a conversation, but that's it.
that's a huge skill. When you say that's the only skill that you have, that is a huge, 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 huge skill. So yeah, that makes total sense, and that is why, like, Alhamdulillah, you got what you wanted, and then Alhamdulillah, it went in the right direction.